everyone, Metro here, and today I'm going to be, today's video is going to be kind of a long video, but I'll try to get through it as much as I can. So this is going to be part 1 of 5 of what I think the MTA should do with their bus routes, like the changes and everything that they've made. So I've made a lot of changes to the Bronx bus map, and that's basically going to be part 1. So before I go into what I've changed, I want to go over the lines that are still the same. So the lines that remain mostly unchanged and are still the same as before are the BX1, 4A, 6, 6 select bus service, 9, 13, 15, 21, 22, 24, 26, 28, 33, and 40. Those are the ones that are still the same. The other ones that I didn't mention, like the rest of the Bronx, routes, and the others, those lines are completely different. So, pretty much to break down the ones that haven't changed, the only thing different about the BX1 is that this applies to the limited only, is that now there's no more service west of Sedgwick Avenue and Dickinson Avenue. That whole section is going to be cut off. So the BX4A is exactly the same, as well as the BX9. And the only thing different about, so for the BX13, I'm gonna have it run to the 181st Street. The only thing different about the BX13, actually, there's nothing different about the BX13, I forgot. So the BX15 is also exactly the same, except for the BX15 Limited also got changed. Now there's no more service between 3rd Avenue, 149th Street, and its terminal of 125th Street and 12th Avenue. There's no more limited service. I'm cutting that whole section off because it would be very slow. So the BX21 remains pretty much unchanged, as well as the BX22. The BX24 also remains unchanged. The BX26. The BX26 remains unchanged and is still the same. The BX28 also remains unchanged. Actually, the BX28 is going to be, except the only thing different about the BX28 is that it'll be going around the Co-op City Loop, because I completely removed the BX38 from where it runs, and I had it go elsewhere. So the BX28 will serve that section part-time. During late nights, that section will not be served by the 28. So the BX33 is exactly the same, as well as the BX40. So now that I've gone over the stuff that hasn't changed and is still the same, let's go over the stuff that has changed. I think that'd be better. So the BX2 went through a pretty major reroute. So instead of going to its terminal where it's like a triangle between the BX1, 2, and 3, instead of going there, I cut it back to Sedgwick Avenue and Van Cortlandt Avenue West. So it'll go on Van Cortlandt Avenue West until it merges with the Van Cortlandt Park South. And then it'll go on Broadway to 263rd Street in the Riverdale neighborhood. So that's pretty much the stuff that hasn't really changed. I'm sorry, I don't know what I just said there. That's the BX2. So the BX3 went through The BX3 now goes down. It was extended from its southern terminal in Manhattan because the 3, 11, 13, 35, and 36, all those Bronx routes, they terminate together in Washington Heights. So what I did with the BX3 is I extended it to J. Hood Wright Park, and I had it do like a little loop via 177th Street and Haven Avenue South, then have the terminal, and then north via 172nd Street and Fort Washington Avenue, and has a new connection to the A train at 175th Street Station. So, alright, now for the BX4. The BX4 got extended. The BX4 got extended quite significantly. So I'm just going to describe what basically happened with it. So basically, the BX4's real-life terminal is at Westchester Square, and it runs between the hub, which is 3rd Avenue, 149th Street, and it has connections to the subway lines 2, 5, and 6, and a lot of the bus routes. So basically, what I did was I extended the BX4 via Williamsbridge Road, and I had it run. Basically, what I had it do is I had it run with the BX8 for a little bit, turn onto Morris Park Avenue, and then run with the BX21 and the BX31. And then I had it run on Stillwell Avenue until Eli and Waring, and that's where the BX4 will terminate. So now I'm going to describe what I did to the BX5. And also, like I said, the BX4 will remain exactly the same, and it won't do that, and it'll just terminate like it does regularly. So the BX5 went through a small reroute. Its terminal is near the Simpson Street station, and it kind of meets with the BX4, 4A, 11, 19, 27, and 35. It kind of meets with all those bus routes. It's a little overserved if you ask me, but anyway, so what I had it do is I cut it back on Southern Boulevard to go north. Instead, I have it go south on Southern Boulevard, and then until Southern Boulevard becomes 149th Street, and then eventually meets with the, and then eventually goes to the hub, which is the 3rd Avenue, 149th Street station on the 2 and 5 trains. For those of you who are from New York City, you would know. Alright, so the BX7 now. So the BX7 went through a small extension. So basically what it does now is its terminal is the 168th Street Washington Heights station, and terminates with has a connection to the subway lines A, C, and 1. So basically I extended it to, hold on, I extended it to 163rd Street, Fort Washington Avenue, via Fort Washington Avenue, and then did like a loop via 168th, and then 163rd, and had it go to the New York Presbyterian in Washington Heights. So basically, alright, now I'm going to describe the BX8. The BX8, oh, I'm sorry if I was a little loud there, but anyways, the BX8, what it does in real life, I extended its northern terminal. Basically, what it does is it has a loop, going north going on Bronxwood, west on 226, south on White Plains, and then east on 222nd. But 226 is a one-way road, so basically what I did with this is I it will turn off Bronx, would go on to 22nd and then north on White Plains to the Wakefield 241st Street station. And it'll run with the BX39 and some of the B-line routes. And it'll have a couple new connections to the, and it'll have new connections to the 2, 3 new connections to the 2 and 2 connections to the 5 during rush hours. Because remember, the 5 goes to Marriott Avenues during rush hours. Alright, so now I'm gonna show you the BX10. So the BX10's terminals are still the same. The only difference with the BX10 is that it doesn't serve the Spite and Duyvil neighborhood anymore. And now that service will have the BXM1, 2, 18, and BX20. It doesn't serve the Spite and Duyvil neighborhood anymore. It now goes via Riverdale Avenue with the BX7. So, and then it pretty much has its same terminals. It just kind of now runs sort of like a little bit of a different route, like via a different avenue, but its terminals are still the same. So now I'm going to show you the BX11. The BX11 was extended kind of uniquely compared to the other routes. So the BX11 was extended to Hunts Point Produce Market, which is also like near the CSX Oak Point Yard. And basically it goes through the Hunts Point, like the Hunts Point like food market and the food center, with the BX6, 6 select bus service, and BX46. So basically what it does is I extended it like until West Farms Road merges onto Southern Boulevard. And then I had it go on Hunts Point Avenue and then it'll go down on Halleck and then through the food center, and then it'll terminate near the Oak Point Yard. So that's what it'll do. So now what I'm going to show you what I did to the BX12. The BX12 was affected slightly, not as much compared to the other lines. So basically, what happened was the BX12 local goes to Orchard Beach summer only, but it does serve some more stops. So I'm gonna have it go there full time, and sometimes it'll be rerouted to. Actually, no, forget it. And then the BX12 was extended into the Co-op City Loop. So, yeah. Alright, now I'm going to show you all what I did to the BX16. The BX16 went through... Well, I need to find where the BX16 is on the bus. Oh, it's up here. The BX16 went through an extension, kind of, to say the least. So it now goes to Fordham Plaza and has a new connection to the Metro North and also connects with the D a little bit more direct. So basically, what I did to the BX16, I extended it south from its terminal. I extended it on Bainbridge. Now what it does is after Bainbridge, it goes on Bedford Park Boulevard and then south on Webster to the intersection of Webster and Fordham, which is a pretty major intersection. It's also where US 1 turns to go east, because Webster is the connector between when it needs to go to, because US 1 is Boston Road, so it has to go on Pelham Parkway, Fordham Road, and then south on Webster. So it's a pretty major intersection. So So anyways, now I'm going to show you what I did to the BX17. The BX17's terminal is at the basically near Fordham Plaza, but what I did was I extended it along Fordham Road and then University Avenue to run along with the BX3 and BX12. So then that's basically where it goes, and then the BX32 kind of stops nearby. Actually, no, the BX32, I was looking the wrong way, sorry. Anyways, so now I'm going to show you what I did to the BX18. So the BX18, in my opinion, is a little bit of a useless line. I mean, it does serve quite a bit of areas on its own, but it doesn't have many connections, so I feel like it was one of the lines that definitely needed an extension. It was definitely at the top of my list. So what I did with the BX18 was I extended it to the Melrose station. So basically, it terminates at the River Park Towers. So what I did was I extended it to the Metro North Melrose station, which is on 161st Street and Park Avenue. So what I did was I had it extend from its terminus at 170th Street and Grand Concourse. I'm having it go south on Morris Avenue now and run with the BX32. And then I'm going to have it turn on 161st to go to that station. So, and it'll have a new connection to the Metro North Harlem line at Melrose. So anyways, now what I'm going to describe is I'm going to talk about the BX19. So the BX19, like a little bit like the BX12, the BX19 wasn't really I don't want to say not really extended, but it was extended slightly. So the BX19 is now keeps going on Southern Boulevard until it turns into Chasm Roth to the Botanical Garden Station, and they'll have a new connection to the Metro North, as well as the BX26. So, and then its terminal at Riverbank Park in Manhattan is the same. So now I'm going to talk to you about the BX20. The BX20 is going to be changed on a couple levels. So now what I'm going to have the BX20 do is I'm going to have it run like it did before the 2010 service cuts. I'm going to have it run full time. Because in the past, it ran... Because back in, before the 2010 service cuts, it would run full time, and now it's not going to be like that anymore. So basically what I'm doing is so that's what I'm going to have it do. And its extension, I'm going to have it go via 207th and have that 204th Street section cut off. And I'm going to have it turn on Nagel and go to the Y and YMHA on Nagel Avenue. So that's what I'm going to have it do. And I'm also going to have it run full time because since the BX10 is it's now being rerouted via Riverdale, that's why I'm having it run full time. So let's talk about the BX23, because the BX21 and 22 were both unchanged in the all the extensions. So the BX23 runs through the Co-op City Loop to the Pelham Bay Park Station. So what I'm going to have it do now is I'm going to extend it on Westchester Avenue and have it run with the 6 train. And basically, what I'm going to have it do after is... Hold on, I just had to kind of get up for a sec. So basically, what I'm going to do after that is it'll run on Westchester Avenue and then terminate at Westchester Square. Alright, so the BX24 and 26 were both unchanged because there's no more BX25. So now I'm going to talk about the BX27. The 27 runs between the Soundview Ferry Terminal, or Soundview and Pugsley and limited times to the Soundview Ferry Terminal. And something I didn't mention that's on the dock is that I'm gonna have it go there. I'm gonna have it go there full time, as well as the BX20, as well as the BX39. But I think late nights I'm gonna cut that section off, and it's gonna go to its old terminal. So what I did was I basically extended it to the Prospect Avenue station. It has new connections to the 2 and 5. So I extended it south on Westchester to go there, because that's the 2 and 5 go on Westchester between Simpson and 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. So the stops on Jackson, Prospect, and Intervale and Simpson are all along Westchester. So anyways, I'm going to show you all the BX29. So the BX29 is doesn't have several connections. So basically what I'm going to do for the BX29 is I'm going to extend it to the Gun Hill Road 5 train station. So it'll be extended it goes to Bay Plaza, but I'm not going to have any more trains go to the section that the BX29 to 38 go to anymore. I'm cutting that whole loop off because I'm going to reroute the BX29, and like I said before, I cut the BX38 and it no longer stops at any of... It's like the BX38 is completely different than before. So basically what I did here was I'm going to have the BX29 go on Gun Hill Road, but I'm going to have it go on Bardo Avenue instead of going through that whole loop, because I'm going to have the 28 do that a lot of the time. I'm going to have the 28 do that except for like late nights. So the Gun Hill Road is going to be the 28 and 29 until via the Esplanade, I think. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what I did to the BX30. So the BX30 went to a reroute because Norwood is a little bit overserved in my opinion. So what I did to the BX30 is I rerouted it. I cut it back from that section on Bainbridge, and now I'm having it go on Gun Hill Road until it goes to Jerome. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it go down Jerome to Lehman College and run with the BX10 and 28 and a couple of the B-line buses. So, and it'll have some new connections and it'll have 2 new connections to the 4. So Now I'm going to talk about the BX31. The BX31 was, I'll explain where it goes. So basically, it goes between Woodlawn and Westchester Square via like the whole area in like Williamsbridge / Southern Wakefield. So basically, what I'm going to have it do is I'm going to extend it to the Huge Day Grant Circle, which is in Parkchester. So I'm going to have it run there and terminate there. And that's also where the 4 and 4A split off. I apologize for notifications on my phone. I need to respond back to something after this. So anyways, the BX32 is going to be massively different. So what I did with the BX32 is I extended it to East River Plaza and 116th and East 116th Street and Pleasant Avenue in Manhattan. So basically, what I did with that was I extended it south via the 3rd Avenue and Willis Avenue Bridge, north on the Willis and south on the 3rd Avenue Bridge. And basically what I did was I sent the BX32, it'll go, so if it's going southbound, it'll be cut back from its terminal slightly, and then it'll go on 138th Street to the Willis Avenue Bridge, which is what the BX15 does. To go south on the 3rd Avenue Bridge to go to Manhattan. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, so then what's going to happen is I'm going to have it go south on Lexington and then north on 3rd. And then I'm going to have it go on 116th to Pleasant both ways. So, yeah, the BX32 is massively different. So now I'm going to share with you the BX34. So the BX34 was extended to Claremont Park via Webster. So basically, it was now it'll go on Valentine / Bainbridge, then it'll be extended onto Fordham Road for a little bit until it goes to Webster. Again, that major intersection. And then it'll go south on Webster until Claremont Parkway, and then to Claremont Park, and it'll connect to the BX11. So now I'm going to share with you the BX36. Oh no, BX35, sorry. The BX35 was changed slightly. It now goes on Audubon and now kind of branches away from the 3, 11, 13, and 36. Because the 13 was the only one that wasn't changed out of the 5. So I'm going to have it go on Audubon north to 185th Street. And I'm going to have it go to Yeshiva University, kind of alongside the M3 and M101. So now I'm going to describe the BX36. The BX36 wasn't changed very much either, however, it was extended. It now terminates with the BX22 to Castle Hill Park via Castle Avenue. And its terminal, I'm going to have that Olmsted Avenue section be cut off, and I'm going to have it go via Seward and Randall. So there's no BX37, and the BX38 was the most changed out of all the Bronx bus routes. So basically, the BX38 runs in real life between Norwood and Co-op City via Gun Hill Road. But I'm going to have it, I figured like it was replaced like late nights and I'm kind of going to have it go somewhere else. So I completely removed it, and now it's going to serve the neighborhoods of Wakefield, Williamsbridge, like near Pelham Parkway, and then it's gonna have to go and Fordham. So yeah, I had it completely relocated. And the only time like it intersects with this old route is at Gun Hill Road and Paulding Avenue. So I'll describe what the BX38's new route is going to look like. So it'll terminate with the BX39 at the Wakefield 241st Street station. And I'll have it go south on White Plains Road to 233rd Street. It'll run with the BX31 for a little bit until it goes to Paulding. And then I'm going to have it go south on Paulding and run along until Paulding, and then I'm going to have it go on Williamsbridge until it kind of intersects with Paulding and Paulding merges onto Williamsbridge. And then I'm going to turn it onto Astor Avenue. And then I'm going to have it go on Boston Road and run with the BX21 for a little bit. And then I'm going to have it go on Fordham Road to Fordham Plaza. Oh no, that's a mistake. I need to fix that. So the BX39 remains pretty much mostly the same. However, there was one extension that makes it different. The BX39 is now going to the Soundview Ferry Terminal. It's going to go there full time, and I'm going to have the 27 go to its old terminal during late nights. Anyways, so now I'm going to describe the BX41 and 41 Select Bus service. So the BX41 I'm actually going to have go into Manhattan. So it'll turn onto 149th. And I'm going to have it go run with the BX19. And the BX41 Select Bus service will run only part-time past the hub. I think all times except for like weekends and late nights, I'm gonna have the BX40, both of the. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna have the BX41 Select Bus service run along all the time except late nights, and I'm gonna have it run via the 145th Street Bridge, and then what I'm gonna have it do is it'll turn south onto Malcolm X Boulevard, Lenox Avenue, and it'll terminate at Lenox Avenue and West 135th Street. So it'll run with the M1, 7, and 102, and it'll have a new connection to the BX33. I figured the BX33 couldn't really be extended very, very much, so I figured I'd just leave it the same as it was, and that's why. So the BX42 is now going to be extended to the River Park Towers, which is where the BX18. Oh my god, I can't speak. BX18 terminates. So yeah, I'm gonna have it do that. So the last line I'm gonna describe is the BX46. It's a pretty short line, so it was one of the ones I wanted to like frequent. The BX 18 and 46 were probably the ones that I wanted to kind of frequent the most. So what I did to the BX46 was I extended it along Longwood, and then it'll go north on Prospect to 163rd to East 163rd Street, and then I have it go on East 163rd Street, and then Elton, and then East 161st Street. So the only difference is that the part-time section for the BX13, the only difference for that line I forgot to mention in the beginning because I didn't think of that. I'm gonna have that part-time section cut off completely, and I'm gonna have the BX46 go there full-time instead. So I'm gonna have it terminate at 161st and River / Jerome, so it'll have a new terminate with the BX13. Well, sort of. Anyways, that's gonna be part 1, and stay on the lookout for part 2. Part 2 will be Brooklyn, part 3 will be Queens, part 4 will be Manhattan, and part 5 will be Staten Island. Anyways, peace out, guys, and I hope you enjoy the next parts.